Hey everybody, it's Debbie Levitt from Delta CX. Sorry I'm recording this when I'm having some spring allergies. Please excuse me. But I'm getting questions about what is doing coaching with me like, how does it take place, and what does it cost? So I would say most of the coaching that I do is private. People use the link below, which is deltacx.link, which is my URL shortener, /coaching to just book time with me. And that's available to anybody. You can just book whatever time you like, and you'll have a private session with me. It'll be over Zoom, and of course, we can record this, and I can give it to you later, or it can be not recorded. And what kind of topics can we talk about? Well, really anything. Anything that you need help on. So some people are looking for additional help with resumes or portfolios. I tend to do one portfolio review for free, but sometimes people want me to kind of cycle through that a few more times with them and check their portfolio again, and I do pay for that. Sometimes people are looking for help with something going on at their job. That could be help with presentations, help with conflicts, help with reviewing their work. Of course, we would sign a confidentiality agreement. Even though it looks like you can just book time with me, I do typically send people for the first time some sort of confidentiality agreement so that we know the rules of the road for any time we are working together. So you can show me your work, especially if you're working in freelancing or contracting or in an organization that really doesn't have a UX hierarchy or people don't make time to help you out. So you can certainly run your work by me and I can help you improve it and level up. Sometimes people want me to do a mock job interview with them just for practice. I don't know what everybody will ask, but we can certainly go through some questions. Let's see, what else do people usually want? It's usually a lot of stuff relating to help with work, and sometimes people are looking to learn a little more about techniques or approaches or foundations of UX. A lot of the types of questions I might get in my office hours. So, free help office hours every Tuesday at 6:15 p.m. Italy time on YouTube, on the YouTube channel, which you can find by the redirect deltacx.tv. Please subscribe. I give out free help and free answers to people who have questions. So you can always get some free help from me that way. But for people who are looking for more of that piano lesson, tennis lesson, language lesson, yoga class, kind of that thing that's more one-on-one and adjusted to you for what you want and need, that would be the coaching. And again, it is private and it is one on one for whatever you need. I don't have a program that I make everybody go through. We look specifically at where you're looking to improve or where you're feeling insecure or where you're aware that you're lacking. Uh, Anything. Let's just put it that way. Now, there are some people who are going into self study or boot camps or degree programs, and I'm available for coaching for those people as well. You always hope that a university degree or a boot camp or something would give you mentoring and coaching, that when you do part of your project, you're going to get rounds and rounds of work reviews, and they're really going to help you out and make sure you know how to apply the information and you understood it and leveling up. But from what I've heard, most of these programs don't do that. They just don't have time for it. And so instead, you're either given some feedback after you hand it in, where it's too late for you to improve it and try again. Sometimes you get no feedback at all. Sometimes they might talk about it in a webinar or a Slack channel. Sometimes they expect you to get peer help, which is people who don't know trying to advise people who don't know. And some boot camps, especially the boot camps, and you know I don't love them, they tend to give people a mentor or advisor or coach. And I have found that in most cases, but not all, most cases, that person isn't even qualified to do UX work. Very often, those people don't have a UX job background. Maybe they're a visual designer or a web developer, or they're very new to UX. Maybe they recently graduated a boot camp themselves, and somehow the boot camp decided they're now qualified to mentor you, which I would disagree with. So, in general, you want to learn from veteran experts. That could be me, or you could pick somebody else. But if you are going through a boot camp or self study, I feel strongly that it needs to be augmented by coaching. And that way, as you're learning things, someone can look at your work. And so, the way I'm going to do it with my boyfriend and one other person is they're going into the UXDI program, which of all boot camps is one I kind of like. It's got pros and cons. I do not make any money from recommending them. So you can, there's no link for you to follow where I get credit or something. So just check them out. And it's a self paced but roughly 6 month program where you're going to do a series of UX tasks based on some educational modules that they've set up for you. And you get to do each of these things individually. So that's great because I find a lot of boot camps do projects putting students together. And then when I see it in your portfolio, I have no idea who did what and if you did the good stuff or the bad stuff. So it's very hard to judge when it's not a solo project. So this is all solo projects, and it's all the projects relate to one larger sample project. So that means at the end of this program, you'll have one portfolio piece. It would be for a fake project, a sample project, but they do have you doing some deep work, and I would expect you to do some quality work. But again, the downside is that they're not really staffed up to give people a heap of individual mentoring or work reviews. You can hand in your work, they can mark it as done, and you'll probably get your certificate at the end. But that's not good enough for me. And so I'm going to be making sure that my boyfriend shows me all of his work. And not just once, not just, well, you did your work, here's some things you could have done instead, but let's hand it in. I'm going to make sure that he does it again, that he fixes things and improves things and then shows it to me again, not fixes it and then hands it in. So I feel very strongly and seriously that as people are learning, whether it's through a program of some sort or more self study through online courses and reading and other things, you still need that coach. It's why you took piano lessons, tennis lessons, language lessons, or why you join a yoga class rather than doing yoga yourself at home from yourself. So I think that it's important to have a coach who's going to really be paying attention to the depth and quality of your work. If you seem to be understanding the material, what other things can you learn or add to that? For example, the UXDI program has you doing a tiny bit of information architecture, but I would like the people I would like the people I'm coaching to add a little bit more to that. I'd like to see them do a card sort and a tree test and not just guess at menus. So I want to go a little bit deeper on that. Also, the program does not have user testing. And I would like to add some user testing to that since I think it's important for people to know and it's important for them to try out while they're learning, yet it's not in the UXDI program, at least as of the time when I'm recording this. So the coaching can also take self study and programs and give them even more depth and give you more technique and more approaches and things like that. And then another thing that I find I can help people with, and this is in general, not just for the people who are studying, and that is strategy. I find that a lot of people say, as I level up into mid level, I'm still not very sure how to approach a project strategically. I can certainly help you with a product strategy or project strategy and also try to teach you how I came up with that. And I think that's strategy seems to be something you just learn over time from doing work and having years of experience, and then be able to say, here's the project, here's the timing, here's the budget, here's what we should do, and here's how long it'll take. And it's very hard to know that when you're still relatively starting out. So, how do you contact me about coaching? If you'd like to book time because you already know you'd like coaching, you can use this link here. If we have not spoken yet, I do offer a quick consultation where it is free and we just kind of talk for a half hour and see if we feel like we could be a good match and be working together. And for that, you can just use the form on the Delta CX website. So if you go to the Delta CX website, wrong button. If you go to the Delta CX website, there we go, deltacx.com, you can go to contact us, and then there will be a link that says book a call. And you can just use the half-hour version of the free consultation call, and we'll use that time to get to know each other as potential coacher and coachee. I don't think those are the right words, but we'll make up our own words. So those would be the best ways to get in touch with me about this. You can always just write to me through Delta CX, through LinkedIn, however we're connected, and ask me the questions you have about coaching. Get my current prices, both for the private coaching and for some of the coaching I'd like to do for something like UXDI. I'd really love to pair people up for that, even though they're still doing their projects solo, but I can still coach somebody solo on that. So get in touch, ask your questions, see if it's a good match for you. Also, look for other mentors and coaches, so feel free to shop around and let me know if there's anything I can do for you. Thanks for watching, and talk to you soon.